because when there's a big gathering, suppose there are like hundreds of people, invariably there are one or two ill wishes. And here, we are comfortable. We have all well wishes, I'm sure. And that's really important because then you don't have any bad vibes. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah.
Am I too loud? Because you see, this is the first time I'm hosting a show. And were it not for these distinguished gentlemen here, this evening would probably have been a disaster. Okay. So, as I said, welcome. And we have this evening divided into sort of informally into three parts. We have a song first, because there we have another distinguished gentleman called Allan, Dr. Allan Abreo.
It will be later.
The song will be later. Okay, the song will be later.
I haven't tuned my voice.
Okay, tune your voice. He's tuned his guitar, he's still got to tune his voice. So at the back right there is Dr. Allan Abreo. He's an educationist, he's a teacher, an ace musician, and he also happens to be my brother-in-law. So that's another feather in his cap. Here we have Melvin, whom I know nothing about. I just met him 2 seconds ago. Okay, so good. Father Melvin. Father, can you say a few words about yourself?
So I'm Father Melvin. I'm based at Jesuit House, Panjim. So we are in charge of, along with Frederick, we are doing that collaborative learning cafe. So there we have the online courses and all. That is one of the things. Then we have the DEP program, those who want to do theology, 2 years course. And apart from that, we also try to do some work in the mission stations. So that is my work is to write projects. I know Clifford because of Alban, so always come to meet him. They were quite good friends and they have done a lot of things together. So that is the only connection I have with Clifford.
And the important thing about Melvin is that he's the only other Jesuit from TV, like Allan.
There. In the center, of course, we have Clifford DeSilva, whose book is going to be released by Frederick Noronha. So Clifford, of course, everybody knows, he's a therapist, he's been a friend, he's still a friend, a guide and a mentor to many people, okay? And I don't want to embarrass him for this, so we stop there. There at the side is Frederick. No, after, later.
Okay.
Now, I have very strict instructions regarding Frederick Noronha. I'm not supposed to he doesn't like titles. So I can't call him doctor or Mr. or sir. He's just Frederick Noronha, okay? And I'm not supposed to say anything about him, like his accomplishments. So I can't say, for example, I can't say he's a prolific writer. I can't say he's a, no, I'm just saying, I can't say he's a alternative publisher, online networker, book reviewer. So I won't mention any of these things.
You can't say that.
I have very strict instructions and I am sticking to them. Okay? So these are, back there is Hilary Correa, who's, I think, trying his hand at operating the camera. Thank God. Very good, Hilary. Okay? So, are we going to do the song now or later? Later?
Later, when everyone is in the
Yeah, Madhu, can you call everybody up? You want to
Guys and girls.
Homie gathering.
Can we kind of come a little bit in front? All the backbenchers, please come in front. Lords of the last bench, lords and ladies of the last benches, please come in front.
Fast, like everybody's at the back.
Yeah.
Them in front.
Good. Yeah. All right. Okay. So if the song is going to be later, and the refreshments also will be later, let's start with the kind of interactive session. Okay. And I'll start by asking Clifford. Clifford, I'm curious about one thing. We have so many distinguished, dependable, solid mantris and MLAs. What made you invite Frederick Noronha to, come and sort of preside over this
Because
function?
he's not an MLA. So, actually, maybe you should ask Frederick why he accepted it, because he never accepts this. Why I asked Frederick is because he's always interviewing people, he's always putting people in the limelight, and he's always behind. He's like John the Baptist, he must increase, I must decrease.
Right.
So I thought that the people should know what Frederick does, and he does a lot. So it will come out in the course of the interactive thing.
Yeah, because I haven't said anything about
As
it.
you would say, we don't want to embarrass him further.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
You
the next.
can give the mic to Frederick now. Yeah.
So anyway, yeah,
So,
the program is not about me.
Wait.
The
He
program-
Wait, I haven't finished. I'm hosting the show. Ram Hari Matho.
I wanted to talk about.
Wait, no. I'm just as I was curious about why Clifford invited you. Now I want to ask you. You usually shy away from the limelight. You're the guy who puts everybody in that chair there under that hot nickel white bulb, and you grill them, you interrogate them. Okay? And now here you are. So what made you accept Clifford's invitation?
You want the real story?
Wait,
It's
Sam.
a bit embarrassing. So
Doesn't matter.
I was wanting to do this interview with Clifford on his book, and Clifford said, "See, I'll come on one condition, that you release my book at some stage." So I told him I never do these things. I said I don't mind hosting a small discussion for you. So
Correct.
he conned me somehow or the other, and it went as chief guest, and he went the full 9 yards, saying that it will be released at the hands of, which is very Indianism in that.
Yes, at the hands of.
But anyway, let's focus on the book because today's event is on the book.
Okay.
So if you allow me, I will start grilling him on the book. Yeah.
Go ahead.
And actually, it's quite a tough job. It's very nice to see all of you all here. I guess some of you all are friends, some of you all are colleagues. It's from the world of psychology, which at some level is a complex world. Not many of us have dabbled in. Maybe to get Clifford rolling, I'd like to ask him one question. At the end of the book, you talk about the story of how you got involved with person-centered therapy. So while you explain briefly what person-centered therapy is all about, would you like to narrate this story from the book?
Okay. So person-centered therapy is, as the name goes, it's about the person. Treating people as persons, that's the important thing. Now, in counseling, the general idea that people have is that a counselor is going to be giving advice. And carlrogers, who's the founder of person-centered therapy, his theory is that everybody is their own expert in their problem. What we need to do is only facilitate that process. So, first thing is he treats people as persons. So when a person comes to him, he's not worried about the problem, he's worried about the person. So he's reflecting to the person back what they're thinking, what they're feeling, without any judgment. And this is what all person-centered therapists will tell after I finish the course with me. They say the clients tell us, thank you for not judging me. It's very, very important. If you're allowed to be, in fact, I think there is one chapter there which says just allowing the other person to be. If I allow you to be, you feel the wherewithal to grow. And when somebody tells you to do something, we don't do it. Ask any husband whose wife is telling him to take the fan for repair. It doesn't happen. One day he'll decide to take it, but if that day his wife says, you have to take the fan today, he'll stop the work. Because we're all born free. And instinctively we fight against anybody commanding us or telling us to do something. So when you treat someone as a person, they actually grow. They bloom.
So just to get back, you've not answered the second question about how you got started.
Okay.
But before that, see, for those of us who have not dealt with psychology as a subject, how many forms of therapy are there? Where does personal-centered fit in with all Gestalt and all these other kind of complex names you've only heard before? But maybe first start off with your story of how you got involved.
I was conducting and he was conducting something called ecclesial leadership. And he asked me to do REBT with the group. There were priests, there were nuns, there were lay brothers, there were lay people, and so on. So it was like mixed, the whole church, so to speak. And he said, he started very beautifully. He said, somebody start with a problem and we'll respond to it. And this lady who was a nun, she said, I really would like to spend more time with my community. And there were some old nuns there. They took charge. Okay, sister, what time do you get up? And so on. This nun happened to be a nurse. So she said she has different hours from the other nun. She gets up in the morning. And everything they suggested to her, she said, yes, yeah, but I tried that and it doesn't work and all. And I thought, this nun is playing yes, but. I mean, it's an unconscious thing. She said, yes, but I tried that. I didn't even be familiar with that. So I thought, this one is playing yes, but, so let's, I said this will go on all night, because she's saying yes to everything and saying, but I tried that. So I just said, sister, what I get very strongly from you is that you really wish you could spend more time with your community, and it's not happening. And she said yes. We moved on. On the last day, she told me, this was the first time in my life that I felt heard and that I felt like a person. And before this, I had read Carl Rogers. We used to make fun of that. Oh, he felt like a person for the first time. What was he feeling like before and all? But finally, it made sense to me. So that night, I came home and read. I was a Gestalt therapist. That night, I came home and read this book, which my mentor Tony De Mello had given me. Client-centered therapy, it was called then. And that's how I got into person-centered therapy. It's like the queen of all therapies in the sense that what better gift can I give you than to just treat you as a person? When you come to me with a problem, I don't give you any advice because indirectly I'm telling you, I know better than you. But if I just reflect, you are so sad about what happened to you today. It must have been terrible for you. That's what they want. They want you to understand and empathize. Okay, you can read the book for further details.
How many people in the audience are from a background of psychology? Of course, you all should get the honor of asking the questions as well.
I think if you leave that to Mario, he'll do it.
No, that's okay.
That's fine. We want to
leave it in now. There is still time for more interaction, but I don't want to make it only a one-to-one.
Yeah.
But please break the ice.
Before we go with the questions, can I'm intrigued by the title of your book, Diaries of the Heart. I not only intrigued, it kind of sounds very nice, So, can I ask you, to explain? Just tell us, how did the title come about?
Mario, you may not remember this. I was going to Belgaum to meet Alban, the co-author, who has passed since then, and I was going with a friend. And I just happened to have mentioned the name of this book that I just thought there are different people telling their experiences and all. And it's like they're giving us a page from their diary. And it's like from their heart. So I just thought Diaries of the Heart. And this friend kept quiet. For the next 5 minutes I'm driving. And I thought this chap has fallen asleep. So after 5 minutes he tells me, Clifford, don't tell this title to anybody. You'll jinx it. Don't tell the title. Somebody may copy it. It's so fantastic. Right? And I don't know if you remember this, Mario, but you were the guy.
Yeah, I remember. Now I remember. Okay.
Now I remember. Can you ask you had planned something to ask?
Yeah. I'm sure some of you will have questions. Like one question that I have is, you were talking about PCT. The book is about person-centered therapy, and there are some people who are counselors or who have a background in psychology. There are others who are just laypersons. So this book, do you think that a layperson will be able to understand the book, appreciate it, benefit from it?
I think this is question. We should have sold the book first. I think. At least according to me, I hope. I try to put it in simple. You will have read a few chapters at least. What's your opinion? Let's throw the question back.
Yeah. No, I was fascinated, quite frankly. I have attended a couple of courses of yours, and before that with you and Alban. So I'm not entirely, just a lay person. But I'm not into person-centered therapy. But I found the whole, not just the concept, the anecdotes, the explanations, the things that happen. I found it fascinating, quite frankly. So if other people find it as, not just interesting, as fascinating as I did, that's fine.
So you got the introduction by a big name. Tell us about that.
Brian
the
Thorne.
foreword.
Yes.
This is for any budding writer in this. How to get a foreword from a complete stranger. The foreword is by Brian Thorne, who's an international writer in person-centered therapy. And it's quite amusing and amazing how I got this, because he he has written one book that he's written is on Carl Rogers himself, and he's got all bestsellers, international bestsellers in these circles. And I read about him, and I looked for his email address, and I told him, I've never read your books except Carl Rogers, the book. I said, but we resonate on two things, I said. He said that he resonates with person-centered philosophy, and that he resonates with his church, is the Anglican church, which is virtually the same as the Catholic church. So I said, I also resonate with the church. I didn't put it in that order. I resonate with person-centered therapy, the philosophy, and this. So I was wondering if you, I sent him to sample chapters, and I said, I was wondering if you would like to write a foreword to this book. He replied immediately to my email. He must have read the thing, and he said, I'd like to go through a book and decide. He said, I'd like to write it, but I thought, let him read the whole thing. So he read it, and he was kind enough to write a foreword.
That's fantastic. That's really very interesting.
So I think between the two of you are planned your questions or something.
No, nothing like that.
The do's and don'ts
Yeah.
of being a counselor.
Yeah.
Can you just elaborate on that? I found that interesting.
Okay, if I tell you this, you all will have to pay me, because that is actually the heart of my course.
So you'll be losing some of your...
I'll be losing, yes.
It's okay.
Yeah. So the do's and don'ts are like this. Mainly, don't give advice. Don't ask questions. You know, it's like simple thing. And normally we don't say the don'ts, but generally it helps. In this case, it helps when you know what you shouldn't do, because when I introduce them to this new concept, they're completely confused. Like, I can see people smiling who've done my course, like Cedric and all, call in, and they say, but you know, they paid me this much money just for me to tell them that they shouldn't give advice. They're feeling cheated. Yeah, nobody asked for their money back. All right, nobody asked for their money back. So these do's and don'ts, the main do is just be aware of what that person is saying. If you were this person, be that other person. Not be in their shoes even, as they say. Because if I get into in an accident, like say Colin is in an accident, and somebody tells him, what would you have done in my place? Colin will tell him exactly. It's completely different from what he would have done. But if you were if Colin becomes that person with their gender and their upbringing, their experiences, then Colin would be thinking and feeling exactly like that, would understand that. So that is the main thing. That is really the heart of person-centered therapy. To respect another person as a person. That's why this is the anthem, the song which you've got on the bookmark. It's an old song, Up With People. We've changed it slightly.
And this is just to give us a psychology 101. What are the other forms of therapy that...
Okay, yeah, good. Is it also like to promote myself, because I'll tell you which I do first.
Yeah.
No, but just a little bit about person-centered therapy. No, it's known as the third force. Even many who do psychology may not know why it's called the third force. See, psychology started as we are like little better than animals. So first there was behavior therapy. How they would change an animal's behavior, they would use the same thing for human beings. So if a person was an alcoholic, they would give him a tablet in the morning. Then, because the thing is, if it is a good effect, then you'll do it, no? So they used to give him a tablet, and you know, whenever he used to drink, he used to throw up and all. So the idea was he would give up drinking, but he would give up the tablet. So that was behavior therapy. Then came Freud with psychoanalysis. And then came people like Carl Rogers on the one hand, and there was William Glasser on the other hand, founder of reality therapy. These two were the founders, along with Erik Erikson and Maslow, who started this third force, humanistic psychology. They concentrated, focused on the person, on the people. So in psychoanalysis, the client knows nothing. The psychiatrist knows everything, right? So this came in, and this opened it just opened the sluice gates of the dam. And after that they came REBT, Albert Ellis. CBT has become more popular than REBT. It is all copied from REBT. There's rational emotive therapy from Aaron Beck. Then there is, I said, reality therapy. Gestalt therapy, which I also give a course in. Transactional analysis. I'll tell you the ones I give a course in. Transactional analysis. Ericksonian conversational hypnosis and brief therapy, hypnotherapy itself, and then I also do NLP and all that, which is late, but Shalini is the master trainer here, so you can when the time comes, you can ask Shalini about NLP and how it fits in with this thing. Okay, I'm talking too much. I want you to ask the people.
Once he starts, he will not stop.
Yeah.
Let them not stop here. What is this for everybody?
Yeah, does anyone? You want the mic?
No. Just simple question. We have very less books written in Konkani.
Yeah.
Can this book also be written?
Yes, it will probably be written in Shashti.
More people will read it.
Yeah.
And understand it.
Yeah. And for transliteration, we'll ask you, Manoj. From Shashti to Devanagari,
Yeah.
of course, Frederick will
Your
use spoken word.
your student is doing.
Okay.
She is a writer also.
Okay. Then we can
She
collaborate.
happily do it.
We'll do that. Perhaps you could ask about my co-author.
Yeah, I was about to
do that.
do
only.
that. You go
At
ahead.
least two
Go
of
ahead.
us are his ex-students of Alban, the brother Alban, as we call him. Panjim at Loyolas and me at Britos.
Yeah.
And then I forgot all about him
Charles.
from the 70s.
Charles.
Then I came to meet him,
Madam.
I came to know him somewhere about 2017-18 again, and he passed away very sadly out of cancer. Just tell us about the man, because you obviously were quite
Let's ask them. Heidi, all these people who are his students, give them the mic. Heidi, come. You pass it to them?
Yeah.
Before
Yeah.
that, a small announcement.
Go ahead.
I've been through the book. It's a very light read. It's an interesting read. If like me, you never studied psychology, here is your chance. The price is 300. Today it's at a special price of 250, I was told. And Clifford will sign
Actually, it was
copies.
300, but since he said 250,
No.
You should have said 200.
He's putting it on me. If I could say, I would say anything. But he will sign and oblige later. But first, there is a song by Dr. Allan, who has not only retired as a principal of the Teachers Training College at Phamagudi, but is also a musician in his own right, as you will see.
Yeah, about other people you can talk, but we can't talk about you.
That's my job.
Well, it's a test of how good your eyesight is. Take off your bookmarks.
So nice, criticizing the bookmark is good.
And let's all sing it together. It's the chorus is very catchy.
We sing the chorus only, you sing the verse.
Okay, you're not too sure whether but I may not be able to sing the verse. I thought I'll get support.
We'll join. Those who know will sing the verse. But the chorus, those who don't know also join because it's a catchy thing.
Yeah, very catchy.
Well, just in case you cannot read that, I'll just read out the chorus. Up with persons, you meet them wherever you go. Up with persons, they're the best kind of folks you know. If more people were persons, all persons everywhere, there'd be a lot less people to worry about and a lot more persons who care. There'd be a lot less people to worry about and a lot of persons and a lot of more persons who care. I hope I get the words correct, but we've turned the words around.
Yes, like
Clifford sent me the
different
corrected
version.
version.
Yeah.
So we'll sing the chorus first.
Yeah, I like
and
to stress on we. We shall sing this.
Okay.
Right?
the chorus first, so we learn it. Yeah.
I will take it slowly. Up with people, you meet them wherever you go.
Up with persons, they're the best kind of folks you know. If more people were for persons or persons everywhere, there'd be a lot less people to worry about and a lot more persons who care. There'd be a lot more people to worry about and a lot more persons who care.
Happened just this morning, I was walking down the street. A milkman and a postman and policeman I did meet. Then at every window and every passing door, I recognized persons I'd never noticed before.
Up with persons, you meet them wherever you go.
up with persons, they're the best kind of folks you know. If more people work for persons or persons everywhere, there'd be a lot less people to worry about, and a lot more persons who care. There'd be a lot less people to worry about, and a lot more persons who care.
Inside everybody, there's some bad and some good. But don't let anybody take away from personhood. Love them as they are, as they're meant to be. God's men and God's women, God intended to be.
Up with persons, you meet them wherever you go. Up with persons, they're the best kind of folks you know. If more people work for persons or persons everywhere, there'd be a lot less people to worry about, and a lot more persons who care. There'd be a lot less people to worry about, and a lot more persons who care.
Thanks a lot, Allan. Thank you, everyone, ladies, gentlemen, friends, well-wishers, boys and girls.
But since he believes in the formality, I guess he has to cut something, you know.
No,
which he forgot about.
just to release. No?
Yeah. We will be having now the formal, informal launch of Clifford's book.
Melvin, sit there. No, just sit there. Don't do this. Just sit there. Yeah. Just want to word with you.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the big moment has arrived. The purple ribbon is going to be unraveled, and the book is about to be released. Where's Clifford gone?
Yeah. Yes. We'll let it go. Very good practice.
It's all yours.
I don't know. You start.
I'm holding the book here.
Congratulations and celebrations. I want the world to know I'm happy as can be. Congratulations and jubilations. I want the world to know I'm happy as can be. Yay! Yeah, this is the book. Here, ladies and gentlemen, Diaries of the Heart. Okay, this is the front of the book. And here we have the co-authors, Clifford and Father Alban.
With a quote from Brian Thorne.
Ah, yes. How could I forget that? Okay. So when you pick up your copy or copies, you
Available for
will be able
sale
to see
today
it
at
here.
50 on the way out.
Yeah.
The other book is available for 150. This is for 250. On the way out, please don't forget to take your packet of snacks. We kept it this way because we don't want to litter. The canteen is closed now, so this system, I don't know if they've got a bin there, so I suggest you just take it and go. Yeah.
No, they've got it.
They've got a bin? They've got
They've got a
They have